Hey there. Happy Thursday. I cheated. I took the red line. I guess we were supposed to be taking the gold line all of this month on Thursdays, but gorgeous day. Pretty hot in the valley. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Mark. I'm Charlie. So, here we are. North Hollywood. Fun fact, this used to be called Lancashire. It's only been called North Hollywood for a couple of years now. It was once wheat fields. Gosh, I hope you can hear me. Hold on, let me make sure the little thing is turned on. Status indicator, there we go. Always helps. So I think this is the end of the line for the Pacific Electric Station that came from Hollywood all the way down here to Lancashire. So I think in 1927 they changed the name to North Hollywood to kind of align themselves with the cachet and status of Hollywood. Little did they know. So I got here on the metro. Hey, Steve. So at the intersection of Chandler and Lancashire, you want to walk towards Lancashire. Burbank Airport is over here somewhere, which if you ever fly into Los Angeles, that's the spot to fly in. Hey, Lady Sky, happy Thursday. So getting here on the metro was a pretty short trek. I just got on at Western. Ah, thanks, Ray. Thank you, Mighting Bull. I kind of love North Hollywood. I will admit, Steve, that I don't know it as well as regular Hollywood because I've just lived there. Actually, longer than any other place I've lived on Earth. Funnily enough. Funnily? Yeah. But it has a really cool urban village feel that I'm hoping to be able to walk you guys through a little of the charm that is North Hollywood. It is like living in the city. You are a couple stops from Hollywood. You're maybe like 10 stops from downtown. It is technically the valley of the stars. And dealerships. So I feel like also North Hollywood feels kind of like Burbank, feels really 50s because they built a lot of those neighborhoods on like airfields from like World War II. So the architecture is somewhat that way also. So we're gonna walk to the Arts District. I will tell you, you might be walking in the wrong direction to start off with because I tried to pull up I really need a second iPhone, but remember when I used to just say, I need a second phone? I tried to pull up the information on my cheapy free phone, and I guess I didn't get the text, so Fun stuff. Anyway, let's take a left onto Compton Street. While I get out of the sun for a minute and get my proper directions. So, again, North Hollywood, not quite Hollywood, but definitely like a city vibe. More like a village vibe. It's got a lot of great little like shops, and that's where I'm trying to get us to, the NoHo Arts District. So, can you type with one thumb? There we go. And NoHo Arts District. Okay, this is 18 minutes by car. I actually don't think that's right. You know, the sun is on its way, I promise you. It was really gloomy here all day yesterday, like all day. I thought it was just the May gray, but it was the June gloom. Wow, all right. It obviously doesn't know where I am to be able to give me directions. Oh, there we go. It figured it out. It told me it was a 5-hour walk. Okay, so
head east on Compton Street toward Lankershim Boulevard, then turn right onto Lankershim Boulevard.
I knew I went the wrong way. So we're gonna get a second chance to look at this great metro station. You can exit either side of the street.
In a quarter mile, you will arrive at your destination.
So that's pretty true. In the 90s, this area became like a hotbed for artsy people and artists. And I think its sign, the NoHo Arts, and the design of it is very 90s looking in a great way. It's true. So this has always been a city that you could get to on the train, because we started off this walk, me walking in the wrong direction, because there's the Southern Pacific Electric Station. So when the electric cars ran, they ended here. And you know what I'm learning actually about taking the... Hey, Allie. Oh my god, this is so loud. You know what I've realized the more I take the train out of the city and the further I go is you can really probably go a ton of different places via public transportation. I think there are probably a few missing links. There is a guy, I think, that's traveling from, I don't know, to like Portland, Oregon, or Portland to Seattle by public transportation. Kind of interesting. So we're starting out here. I think my directions tell me to go left. They actually tell me to go straight. We kind of missed that walk. He's not I don't think he's a live streamer. I think he's just vlogging, as the kids say. I only saw part of it. Or maybe he created a whole video of it. Actually, I didn't watch it at all. I just read the title. Just kidding. It's always a great day when we see mighty bowl. Sorry, I heard somebody screaming. And then saying, hey you, but it wasn't me. But I looked anyway. You shouldn't look. So, I kind of broke my receiver the other day. Just when we arrived at the beach. I hastily ordered another part for it, and it arrived at 7 a.m. The other part never mentioned what model it was for, and it only came up under the search for the piece that I was looking for. So I kind of thought, and then it arrived, and then I read the fine print. It had like a model, crazy model number on it. Anyway, new piece arrived last night, just in time for today.
Head east on Chandler Boulevard, on Lancashire Boulevard, then turn right onto Lancashire Boulevard.
So hey, if it's your first time here, please give us a thumbs up, like, smash that sub button, and then if you do sub, please chat. We are pretty friendly folk. So I'm just poking in. I want to take a look at this nice post office and then walk down this sort of side street. Maybe we could peek into the suburban area.
Of course you did. That's why I said tuck away. Right.
Did you come to North Hollywood yesterday? Sorry, I missed that.
Take the next left onto Weddington Street, then turn right onto Lancashire Boulevard.
I'm gonna take my next left onto Weddington Street. I probably should have done that already. Also, another thing, we're gonna wait a second. This city, I feel like every time I come here, is always undergoing or almost getting blocks of construction. There are, I feel like, a lot of barren blocks. Calabasas, I always feel like every time I go to Calabasas, it's a heat wave. I'm gonna walk in this. Hopefully this biker doesn't get mad, or bicyclist. There are a ton of really cool murals in North Hollywood. And so I might walk off the beaten path a few times to see what they are. I'm not sure what that symbol is. If it offends anybody, it shouldn't. Before it was Hollywood. How did I miss that walking by that on the other side? Tongvaland. It's kind of charming, to be honest with you, Allie. Like, I don't know that we're gonna hit the little cute neighborhoods, but they're like very 1950s grid-like, because the city became really urban after the 40s, so they built a lot of homes on those old airfields, and it's kind of set up like that. Cool. I really love that mural. Let's go and it's on the post office that we didn't quite walk up to, but just want to give the artist some props. Oh my goodness, Michaels. Gorgeous. All right, let's go back around the block. Actually, it's kind of the post office, but not the actual post office. It feels like they really were tearing up the valley, and I feel like, or it really feels like they're tearing up always North Hollywood. And it feels like it's like probably the newest city around Los Angeles. I mean, post office that we just walked by. Actually, this might be older because it is across from the Southern Pacific Electric Station. Although I don't know if that is its actual resting location. Yeah, 1936 post office. It kind of looks like that. All right. So I love an industrial space. I love a good car park to walk through. I kind of love the feeling of also being slightly lost, which I completely am. Except thank you, modern technology, because I have a lady in my pocket telling me where to go. I will admit, Allie, this is not the most interesting industrial. I prefer like 1920s like factory, which probably has more bad karma to it, but like, you know, a downtown Boston waterfront, just right like where the channel is. That kind of industrial. Or those factories that used to be in the city I grew up in. All kind of like brick mills. All right, we're getting to the heart of Lancashire. I'm gonna walk back on this side of the street and not in front of this Jeep like an idiot because I think we missed kind of an interesting building over here. Hey, LA Unknown, we are in the valley. The other valley, North Hollywood.
At the light, turn right onto Lancashire Boulevard.
Ooh, some old world charm, a window that never shuts, possibly a ghost. Oh, they're closed for remodeling. I feel like I've eaten here once, a long time ago. It might have been a gastropub, whatever that means. Or a brewery. Yeah, it's called the Federalist, or it was called the Federalist. I hate when the plaque is gone from a building, like the year it was constructed. This also like looks very pre-50s. I have no idea what the original intent of the building was. So this is Weddington Street, named after the Weddington family. You're supposed to go straight here or right. And this is Weddington Square. Uh-oh. I'm entered Weddington territory. Or I hope you're joking about that. A daring do, but I think we've got it. This is the El Portal Theater. It smells like a burger. Nice Art Deco marquee. Let's see if we can get a nice picture of the marquee. I think this might have... I just want to see if there's any interesting stuff to mention. There's a lot of interesting stuff to mention. I would look it up. That's pretty cool, actually. How's it going? And the robbable box office right in the front. That's a really cool mural. Remember, there's some emojis of taggers and art. I think tagging can be an art, but just my personal opinion. So the one thing I will tell you, the only possible downside to North Hollywood is it's a little hotter. I was kind of chilly when I left home this morning in Lower Hollywood, or whatever we call that area, East Hollywood. I foolishly have a sweatshirt on, really thick. It's too much for the valley. I could have, actually there's a nice breeze coming up. So, you know, like everywhere, there's some open things, but they really have cool little intentions here. I remember there used to be a Dairy Queen here. And they proudly offer soft serve. Captain and Tennille is playing from the speakers. I think I just went to heaven. Subconscious Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I would love to take something like that. Although I think I would have a heart attack doing the actual jiu-jitsu. Check out these little kind of awesome outdoor spots to eat. We've got some covered up mural action here. It's kind of I think it's a shame when people graffiti the murals because it's a blank wall, no big deal. You know what, to be honest with you, Ellie, I could learn it from YouTube. You can learn anything on YouTube. I just gave myself veneers. I am joking, I'm absolutely joking. Just in case you don't get my humor yet. You should. I'm just making sure we haven't strayed too far. Let me hit restart. I've arrived. Turn right on Magnolia Boulevard. I'm already doing the right thing. All right, let's go right on Magnolia Boulevard. Hey, Ty, we are totally in the valley. For sure. I should have brought an umbrella, though. It's so sunny. there a lot of commercials for the bus. That's pretty cool. I learned how to hack the computer on I used to have a BMW electric Majig, and I learned how to hack whoa. That's the Greyhound station these days. Pretty small. And I learned how to hack the engine. It was an i3. It had a small gas tank in it. So it was able to use gas to charge the engine. I hacked it so it could take about a gallon more of gas, and I could turn it on at will, which was great. I used to love to get old Mercedes when I first moved here from like the 70s, and I could have used a headliner tutorial. I could have used a lot of tutorials when I had those cars. I'm not into doing that kind of stuff so much anymore, because well, maybe I would be, now that I have YouTube. I thought it would be fun to learn how to put the foil on cars. A wrap, I guess you would call it. I got a red light. Wants me to turn left on Magnolia Boulevard, but I'm already on Magnolia Boulevard. I think I'm gonna cross the street. Maybe I'll ride it on Friday, actually. I'm kind of new to the Gold Line, or whatever we call it now, the K Line. I'm so new, I'm calling it the Gold Line. I cannot wait to get to the shady side of the street. I might have to pause and not pause the stream, but put the camera down and take off my sweatshirt. It is true to its name. Funny thing about the valley is that you really cannot. Oh, interesting. I feel like you really cannot run across the streets, jaywalk, if you will. The boulevards are so wide. How's it going? All right. You told me you didn't see him. Fun guy. Told me to stay out of North Hollywood. Lebowski. I don't really know what that means. I remember when I very first moved here, there was a Dairy Queen in North Hollywood, which made it kind of a draw for me. Soft serve and all. Okay, sweatshirt is coming off. Ugh. You know when you pull off your top shirt and it pulls up your undershirt? I hate that. Ugh. Everybody on Lancashire or Magnolia just saw my belly button, which is clean. Alright, I'm stuffing my sweatshirt in my backpack. Moving at hyperspeed. I wonder if I actually texted someone else my directions this morning. Hold on. Alright. Woo! Alright, hold on. What happened was, on my cheap cell phone, what I do before the walk is I send myself the map or the route or like how I'm gonna walk it, and I sent myself that. No, didn't think twice about it, and then I just opened my phone when I got here, and it looks like I blocked messages from my own phone number, which I don't even know how I could do that. Yeah, I was here first. I was here. I was just trying to get my directions back. And unfortunately, I blocked text messages from myself. So, so we're really just meandering until I can figure that out. I think the Starbucks was where the Dairy Queen was, actually, when I first moved here. Okay, so I'm gonna try to attempt to recreate this walk. We're gonna take a right on Lancashire. Yeah, that's definitely where the Starbucks used to be. Hey, I don't know if I'm still having a problem, let me know, because I just went into my text messages to I think that's why it froze for a second. So I want to take us down the Magnolia bike path also, but the thing is that address I'm going to have to look up. But let's walk through like this cute and quirky, fun neighborhood. Rents over here again are like $100 cheaper. It's like a little cheaper, and I think there are more. There's a neighborhood that you can find more signs, like handwritten signs in. So let's check these murals out. Another great reason to come to North Hollywood is I read that the signal was great. But also, I think a lot of Hollywood deserves its due. A lot of Los Angeles deserves its due. And we can't just talk about Beverly Hills all the time, although it's, you know, fun. There's more down the street. There are lots of unique places to eat and shop here. We're gonna loop around because we're missing all these. I'm kind of obsessed by the Tahunga Wash murals. I have not. I definitely would be interested in doing that. I literally just, I love when I see them, to be honest with you, or remnants of them. This is a retro wave bar called Player One. I love what they did with their wall, though. It's very Tron. Oh, and that's a big piece of cement I just tripped on. And there's Bruise Brothers. All right, we're gonna go back to walk the rest of that block. I just like, also even the modern stuff kind of leans into their artsy mural theme. My biggest challenge, Steve, is always signal. It used to be sound quality. I think I've got that like 85% there. But it's just the signal. I have to get to a point where I make money to buy another phone and then kind of use the dual signal. The other phone I have is not capable of doing it. I'm not quite there yet. So I always get nervous about going indoors, and wow, what a really kind of beautiful place to eat, almost outside. Oh my gosh. Treats. I really need to get some, actually, of those. The Himalayan dog treats. My dog loves those. My dogs love them. Like, wouldn't you love to, like, hang out here and eat? It's a little more put together than it looks. It looked kind of, ramshackle. Republic of Pie. A couple of years ago, I got a gift of pie from Republic of Pie. It was pretty nice. Was it Republic of Pie? I feel like that was the same logo. Pie is kind of always unexpected, I think. I'm always like, you expect cake or ice cream, but pie? So this little vintage block kind of love it. I kind of feel like this is the kind of store that couldn't really be in business on Melrose. There's the Sherry Theatre. I think I heard Joan Crawford say Sherry like that one time. Maybe it was Betty Davis. And that's how I hear it in my head. Sherry. Myfishstop.com. You know I'm not eating there. Another great mural. Hey, Clever. Happy Thursday. Welcome, welcome. If you guys are here for the first time, please give the algorithm a hug for me by liking and subscribing. So, oh, that's fun because it's outer space themed for the weed shop. Excellent. North Hollywood Park, Westview at the 170. either way, we're gonna spend some good time walking. Also, when my I'm gonna plug in right now and spare us the shame of spare myself the shame of the stream ending. When we went to Venice Beach, we were riddled with issues. It was so crowded, we just couldn't get a decent signal, even after switching from 5G or 4G to 5G. And on top of that, Mission Impossible is playing in the theaters. That's true. Also, Lilo and Stitch. Everybody's in love with Lilo and Stitch. It did so much money. It's crazy. I have not seen either one of those, Lilos or Stitches, or any Mission Impossible TBH. I know you all hate me. We're taking a right here. What song is in Mission Impossible? Is it Adele? I saw her the other day at the Wax Museum. She looked great. I think this has been my Gremlins week, actually. So, I wanted to do a members live stream on Tuesday. I'm gonna look up make sure I'm going in the right direction. I wanted to do a members live stream on Tuesday, but I broke my transmitter. So I ended up doing a members video where I went to the Hollywood Wax Museum. It's been the highlight of my month, I think. That in Long Beach. I went to the Hollywood Wax Museum and got to walk around. I filmed everything. I posted it. I guess I needed to update my computer. I watched it like 4 times, as one does when they're editing something. And then I uploaded it, and then I realized next morning that it had no sound after the first few seconds. I was so embarrassed. So I spent part of yesterday re-editing that. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. So we want to look for Magnolia. Nope. Magnolia bike path. Let's see if I can find it. Directions. All right. Let's head there. It says drive, walk. We are walking. We'll be there in 12 minutes. It's finding the best route. I'm finding the best patch of shade. So we're turning left onto Vineland Avenue. That's the trick. Thank you so much, George, for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Everybody have a nice Memorial Day weekend. I tried to stream on Monday. That was not my usual day, but it was a bust. I did go to the museum, which was, I gotta say, kitschy, fun goodness. I don't regret it at all. The best $25.99 I've spent in a while. Kind of expensive, but kind of worth it. It's that video I could never put as a non-members video because it has so many songs in it. I could not clear them out. As it is, I think it has like an international, like somewhere it won't play, maybe Russia. It's usually the case. whenever you get a copyright thing, it's always will not play in the Russia. It doesn't say the Russia. It says Russia. That's how we're spelling it now. Just adding an R to the end of a lot of stuff. Russia, America. Whew, I almost stepped in a pit of glass. The one thing I think they really could do here in the valley is add a couple trees. It is hot and sunny. So I'm gonna check my directions if they haven't reset themselves, and if they have, hey. At least my headline briefing awaits. I love how you have to hit start like 15 times for it to start. Okay, I'm on Vineland Avenue. Oh well, 9 minutes, we'll find it. I'm not gonna put my phone away because it'll reset itself again. We are going towards the Magnolia Bike Path. It's a really fun path through sort of nature-y area, kind of what makes North Hollywood a little more outdoorsy feeling than the rest of Los Angeles. And then there's a lot of murals there to take a look at, a lot of street art. So, Chandler Boulevard, we're gonna take a right. I feel like the valley is also really spread out. There's a nice little 1930s house sitting in the middle of nothing. Must be historical. That's the only thing I can think when I see a house like that that hasn't been torn down yet. So we're getting a nice little outdoor valley walk today, as we are celebrating the valley. I think we might do another valley day before July 2. So we're going to turn a right on Chandler. And another little fun place to eat. I definitely want to do Ventura, and we'll just play Tom Petty on a boombox in the background. I just kind of feel like Ventura is also like a time capsule. It's not quite been completely modernized. Almost Christmas prop shop. It's crazy because I know where we are from when I used to make candles. The candle shop is around here. And I drove by that prop shop so many times wanting to go in. I never knew you could. It was just full of Christmas stuff. So we're gonna take a right over here. I have to figure out how exactly I would do Ventura Boulevard though, because I'd want to get dropped off at the far end of it, right? And then walk towards Los Angeles. That would be my dream. Oh, there's the Christmas shop. I really don't want to walk down Chandler. Make sure I've got we're 5 minutes away. All right, well, oh, it starts right here. It's funny. So it looks like there's a refrigerator shop and then the Christmas prop shop. So if you are filming your fan episode of Married with Children Christmas special, you can come on down here and get your Christmas props. I would want to end at City Walk is my honest to goodness thought, because that way I could just hop on the train and go back home. It's tricky on these walks, honestly, to end up further away from my home, because they're sometimes 9 miles or 7 miles, and at the end of that I don't want to walk back 7 miles. I could also probably take a bus. So this is the real stuff. We were looking at some business art before. So you can use your emojis. No graffiti here. Fame. Glamour with a U. Rosie. Peachy Homes. And Amelia Earhart. This is the official city of Amelia Earhart, by the way. There is a statue to Amelia. I love the fact that these exist. There should be some kind of budget for restoration, though. I'm sure we have better stuff to spend our money on, for sure, but these are just pretty cool. It's from 2001 and was sort of repaired in 2024. I'm just gonna move out a little bit. I don't want to intrude on anybody's moment they might be having for a little solitude. Paul Jung. I wonder what that means. I love that they have these like spots to do exercise. It smells like there's a bakery or something around here. Ooh, I kind of love that one. And this is not cool, I'm sorry. I kind of love tagging, you know, I mentioned that before, but no, this is already art. They could have tagged right there. Building a dream in NoHo. Oh, it's Amelia Earhart. Spirit and courage. These must be from 2001. It's crazy. So in my periphery, just over here somewhere, I saw that church. Like, we owe it to ourselves to make things more beautiful for each other. Like, and when somebody, I don't know, does something like this, like a community getting together, it stinks that someone comes along and graffitis it. There's a lot of graffiti on this, like, orchard scene here. Commemorating working in an orchard, which I can't.
Turn right.
Oh, she's just gonna give me directions even though we're already here. This one takes you through the original settlements. To like a Mexican street scene. This is almost like another walk that I want to do, which is along the LA River in Frogtown. You get to walk along the LA River. In addition to that, there's all these little dip-off places that you can go to. Like little streets or cafes or whatnot. Hey, Brave Bull. I consider tagging an art, to be honest with you. I point it out all the time, but sometimes it's crap. But I guess art is in the eye of the beholder, right? And then sometimes it's pointless to take somebody else's art and then tag it. I'm hot. That's what this puppy's saying. Where's my coffee? For sure, I agree, but I can still say it's unfortunate, because it is unfortunate. That's why we can't have nice things. I say that a lot, and mostly in jest. My phone is just going off. Let's see what it's doing. It's probably giving me directions to Seattle or something.
Head west on West Chandler Boulevard toward Denny Avenue.
Wow, it's kind of unbelievable. There's not one, but 2 exercise spots since we've started on this path. Only one has an exerciser. I don't know if I'll dine today. Joe's not here. I brought a couple bucks in case I need a snack. And it's probably going to be soft serve because it's hot. Let's get back over by the murals. So while Joe works, I'm sweating to
Head west on West Chandler Boulevard toward Cartwright Avenue.
the oldies in North Hollywood. This So let me lower it a little bit. That's kind of where we started, at the train station. That's what it looks like. So I always want ice cream. That's an easy bet, to be honest with you. And definitely ice cream on my mind today, because I saw that soft serve sign way back there. I eat really healthy so that I can eat shitty on these walks, and keep my figure.
Turn left onto West Chandler Boulevard.
This actually is a pretty famous bookstore, the Iliad, that has cats inside of it, I believe. So before I left, I had a scoop of yogurt, a scoop of frozen berries, some oat milk, a little tiny bit of raspberry jam just for the sugar edge, and a banana, a smoothie. I really would like, before the end of the month, to go back to Parody, the ice cream place where we got the black horchata ice cream, and get the baklava. The guy told me that they only have those flavors for the month, so I want to try the baklava before it's gone, and I might go and get that tomorrow, which is no, I'm not going to do that on Friday. I'll probably do that on Saturday. All right, so hopefully the art is supposed to continue on this path. Hopefully it does. Oh, Joe, I'm really sorry.
Head west on West Chandler Boulevard toward Cahuenga Boulevard.
I'll bring a Tupperware and bring some baklava ice cream home. By the time you get it, it's going to be a shake. We can just drop it in the Vitamix and whip it up.
Head west on West Chandler Boulevard toward Cahuenga Boulevard. Head west on West Chandler Boulevard toward Cahuenga Boulevard.
I'm on West Chandler Boulevard heading towards Cahuenga Boulevard. I could get some for Joe, but by the time I got home from, I think that ice cream place is on Spring and 7th or 6th. Actually, you're not working on Saturday, Joe, so you could come down with me. But by the time I got the ice cream home, it would be so melted. Did anybody ever watch the Kathy Griffin show, My Life on the D-List? I might have imagined this, but I swear one episode she dumped a whole cake and then a whole half gallon of ice cream in the KitchenAid mixer and then mixed it up into a soupy consistency and ate it.
Head west on West Chandler Boulevard.
I gave Joe half of the smoothie. I made a smoothie for 2. I usually make something that Joe could eat. We're having a lot of bean salads this summer. So cucumber, chickpeas, or whatever the other name is, corn, grape tomatoes, nice vinaigrette. I feel like I'm forgetting something. But either way, whatever I've forgotten, totally is still a good salad by itself. Corned beans. Sometimes I chop a pepper up into it also. Oh, red onion. That's the real secret there. I could eat cucumbers every day. I just hate cleaning them. So, opposite us is one of those real 50s looking neighborhoods. Some modern tweaks and updates to the homes, but 50s, 60s, post World War II. I'm walking on the bike
Head
path.
west on West Chandler Boulevard toward Strom Avenue.
I'm walking on the bike path. And then last night we had like a sort of Caesar salad with chicken. And we have also chicken today, so we could have another salad. The problem with just having salad with no grain is that I literally always want like chips later. So orzo is nice to throw into salad or something healthier, rice. I don't like rice as much as orzo.
Head west on West Chandler Boulevard toward Biloxi Avenue.
I wonder if the chocolate shake cake is related to Kathy Griffin's. I think she called it cake soup or something like that. And whoever she was making it with, maybe it wasn't her. That's not the treehouse from The Simpsons, but how lucky are they to have a treehouse? Closest thing we had to a treehouse was a garage that my parents never parked their cars in. I think that was a little better. Pretty huge. I feel like I've walked this before now that I've gotten to this sort of point here. I've been to the last bookstore. I've even gone inside. It is an old bank as you get to the center of it. I might go again because everybody loves a bookstore. I might go again with the 4K camera and do it as a members live stream because it's such a cool spot. So we got away from the industrial area and you can see it's more Leave It to Beaver, suburban. They have like an interesting sort of street structure here where they almost have like a double street. So there's almost like a frontage road. Oh.
Head west on West Chandler Boulevard toward Biloxi Avenue.
Well, I'm not an Instagram star. I am in Burbank. We're just walking the Chandler. I'm at Chandler and Valley. We're gonna turn around and go back to the artsy district eventually. But I am gonna go dip out here and walk through some 1950s neighborhoods. And dip back up to the NoHo Arts District. Or we're gonna turn around because we got a weak signal. Let me take a second here to thank my members. We do member stuff every Tuesday. Gonna get more active with live streams. Coming up, we have a live stream next month, a mystery to solve. But I want to take a second to thank my members. Clybourne always reminds me of Dolores Claiborne for some reason. The Stephen King novel. It just feels a lot more suburban out here. We're gonna let that guy go. And look at his treehouse. Cool treehouse. Sorry about that. I think we should be back now. I might have stepped out of my signal path because I don't have my actual physical map with me. It's not on my phone. It was never physical. But we'll bump back into it in a sec. The funny thing is, I verified it, and then it said that off of the main streets it was kind of weak, the signal over here, but this is kind of a main street. So, anyway, we're walking back towards the Arts District. It really feels like another place. Like, if I try to go back in my memory to think of what California was kind of like before I lived here, I think this is. Lots of foxtails. A pet or not, but those foxtails are dangerous. We're coming up back to the main street up here, so I anticipate that we'll find our T-Mobile signal once more. It looks like it's coming on a little stronger. Here, it's a little like kind of nice. It's nice because it seems so suburban on the right, industrial on the left, and a little village straight ahead. Urban village straight ahead. Kind of the best of both worlds. Also, it's a puppy. Also, the proximity to public transportation and the amount of bus lines that run through the valley are kind of crazy. I even remember speaking of the Brady Bunch, watching an episode of the Brady Bunch where Alice had to take the bus somewhere. And she was like, I take the blah 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 to the blah blah blah, then get off there and walk a block and take the blah 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 to the blah blah blah. And that's literally what taking the bus is like in the valley. Also in Los Angeles too. I actually don't know if I've ever taken the bus to the valley. I've taken it from Pasadena. For 1 second I thought the dog was off the leash too. And it's such a cute, non-threatening kind of dog. That's always what makes it a little scarier. If you saw my dog off the leash, you'd be like, critter! And scream when he bit your face off because he's mean. So here, it kept telling me to walk towards Cahuenga, which is right here. So Cahuenga leads to Highland, which leads to Hollywood. We're walking back to NoHo because that's the direction that we would need to walk. Over there, I believe. And it's kind of really industrial. Border Collies always look really sweet, I have to say. Mine's like a terrier dachshund mix. So he's medium height, you know, and kind of terrier with medium hair, one of them is. And he has like a dachshund attitude, and dachshunds are vicious. The other one's like a poodle mix. He looks like a mini sheepdog, and he's about as sweet as they come. They're a good yin and yang. NoHo. All right, we're walking down the other side of the street, the hotter side of the street, of course, to catch a look at some of the murals that we missed or saw from across the street. And the murals really cover up the industrial area. They're quite useful. They also have a farmer's market at 5,000 Colfax. Oh my gosh, I could totally... This is Premier Entertainment. They rep Captain Morgan. The crazy thing is, it looks like it's all the white, fluffy dog's fur, but it's both of their fur. I brushed the terrier last night and get no fur, but then you run your hand over him to brush him and you get like a wad of short fur. Oof. This is why I wear no black almost. Navy. I wear navy more often because you can always see dog fur on navy and I can get it out before I embarrass myself. And people always think you have a cat. People always think it's cat. Do you have a cat? No. I'm really good about making sure I'm walking around with no fur on. Some t-shirts just really attract it more than others. I think anything with any synthetic fiber in it just holds, or that really thick, those really thick like Zildjian, I don't even know how you say it, those t-shirts, those collect fur. We could probably, people do stuff with pet fur. We probably could make like little crocheted dog fur Christmas ornaments or I don't know, pet toys, cat toys out of dog fur. Somebody's done something like that, but it seems like a waste to not be able to use that for something. Maybe insulation. I swear in high school, and I know this was in high school because I don't know that I would believe this story at any other time, but I remember somebody telling me that they saved only Camel filters from Camel cigarettes to use as insulation in their house. Or maybe it was every kind of cigarette but Camels, because the Camels were cotton. I'm not sure, but can you imagine used butts being, it would smell. So he has little dachshund ears, and then his front paws, back to the dog, are like bent like a dachshund's are. When we first got him, I had no idea what he was, and I just thought like maybe somebody broke his front paws because they're pretty crooked. And he kind of hops, but they're not broken. They're just dachshund paws. It's crazy, but also like that's a smell you can't get out of stuff. Like you cannot put used butts in your wall and not expect your house to smell like Las Vegas. The sun is so brilliant here. If I miss anybody or don't say hi, forgive me. I will get around to it, but please make sure if you subbed, you're in the chat. It's cigarettes are kind of weird. So, my parents smoked growing up. I used to scream at them about it because that was about the time when we stopped accepting people smoking. I did all kinds of horrible things to my parents' cigarettes. I remember poking a hole in each one of the filters so they would be ruined effectively. In my mind, I was like, oh, they're gonna just throw them out and not smoke. Meanwhile, if anybody had done that to me during my smoking time, I would have annihilated them. Good thing I didn't have kids. Yeah, it is brilliantly clear sky, except for you can barely see it. There's like a dust of a few clouds over the hills, which are over there. Well, also think about it. That show has never stopped playing, right? So generations to come were taught to smoke from Lucy and Ricky. I'm not knocking them. Love them, both Lucy and Ricky, right? But, and then we were like, those younger generations were also like the movies growing up for people on TV that would play on TV, 60s and 70s. Movies all had people smoking in them. Also in the 80s movies, I find it crazy that there's some country that doesn't, it feels like it's in Indonesia, maybe, that doesn't allow smoking at all in their movies. I am pretty close to the Burbank airport. I'm surprised something hasn't flown over us yet. So remember we saw a mural that featured this little church in it. We're gonna go take a look at that little church. I saw this in my periphery. So Burbank over there. Hopefully they don't flush. A mural dedicated to puppies of all kinds. In the 70s, there was orange line around all of the mountains in the summer. Oh. It's really weird when I see like stuff, like there's a lot of vintage movies from Los Angeles in the 70s and 80s and 40s and 50s, and I post something every once in a while that show what the city looked like. I can't tell if it's like the 70s sort of whatever, the 70s film has a certain look to it, or if it's literally the sky is so yellowy and thick. I heard somebody talking about what it was like to be a kid in the 70s in Los Angeles, and some days you couldn't go outside because the smog was so bad. Burbank is pretty expensive. I couldn't live in this heat. It is really hot. My back's sweating. Not that you needed to know that. And I feel like this is the kind of place. I'm gonna cross here. I'm not sure what that church is now, but just sort of stuck in the middle of this industrial area. Kind of dig it. Our Lady of Industry. Hey, Steve. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thanks for being a 1 month plus member. We shout our 1 month members out every Sunday or Saturday. We will be doing that this Saturday. I appreciate you much. And appreciate you giving me ideas too. I don't think I could run out of places to walk in Los Angeles. But I do think we could run out of touristy spots, which is fine with me. So we're gonna go back and look at this church, and then head back to that regular street because I'm walking towards more industry or airport. So it's definitely an old building that is definitely well cared for, with no sign, in the middle of this retrofitted, also in the middle of this industrial area. And it's also memorialized on 5453. That's the address. I'm gonna look it up if I remember. I probably won't remember. 543 Satsuma. Let's send some fireworks up in the air for Steve. I'm always afraid that's gonna knock my signal out. But yay, congratulations. And thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations to me for keeping you for another month. Someone stole her torch. I could like rummage through this place for days. I love a salvage shop. I feel like New York, because it's so concentrated, I'm gonna have to check out your friends' live stream or videos. I love watching New York. I feel like there's so many people in such a concentrated area. There's naturally just more stuff to do there. I love New York. I know, but I love Los Angeles more. I can do both. New York is kind of like more my background, my like growing up area. Right? Well, I don't think she needs to be lighting that torch right now, unfortunately. Just kidding. No political stuff, sorry.
Turn left onto West Chandler Boulevard.
So, I don't think I could live in New York City anymore either. Like, I think there was a time I could have lived there. I had an aunt who owned a couple of brownstones there. And she always unfortunately joked, that she would let me live in the basement apartment if I swept the sidewalks and shoveled the sidewalks in the wintertime and did maintenance. And like when I was 18, I was like, hey, I'm ready for my apartment. My mother is from Long Island. My father is from New York, but Port Chester. I always forget the city because of General Hospital. It's either Port Charles or Port Chester, whichever one is not on General Hospital, so I think it's Port Chester, where the Lifesavers factory is. I remember going to visit relatives when I was young and hanging out on giant Lifesavers at the Lifesavers factory. They had a bunch of rolls up front.
East on West Chandler Boulevard towards Satsuma Avenue.
It's a really different vibe, though, for sure. Let's go to the NoHo sign. I'm going to just pull that up now and head back. My mother also lived in Queens, too, and then she moved to Roslindale, which is... Roslindale? That sounds right. On Long Island. Freddy Krueger's blade hand would be perfect. Thank you so much. That's pretty funny. Or a Hulk hand. Hulk smash. I also want to go, I really want to cross the street. I also want to go to the San Gabriel Valley too. And Huntington Park. I think I'm kind of, Huntington Gardens, sorry. I think I'm kind of losing the non-heat time to go out there. I just try to I have to sort of budget everything I do so I'm not overspending like I'm on vacation every week. Okay, I am doing one thing real quick, and that's just looking something up. So look at the beauty of North Hollywood.
East on West Chandler.
It's still giving me directions back to this place. I want it to give it directions to the fun NoHo sign, which is called the NoHo Arch. So let's see. Oh, fun. It's giving me directions to Santee Alley. Let's walk to Santee Alley. All right. Let me close that. Let me open maps again. I've just got to wait for it to start up. Fun stuff. All right. I am typing NoHo Arch. North. Let me try spelling it out. Well, I couldn't spell sign right. Sorry. I'm not looking at the... Let's see. North Hollywood sign. That's crazy. All right, let's go back to the Arts District. It's over there somewhere. We'll find it. I'll find that soft serve shop, hopefully. So, Chandler Bikes Path. There we go. North Hollywood Arts District. What would I have done before this slow phone existed? Start. Okay. It's now finding the best route. Thank you. I should have read.
West on West Chandler Boulevard,
I should have read the text. I did the Rose Garden. I really want to do Huntington Park. I try to we're gonna go to Universal on the 5th at night, and I think that will be fun, and that's free for us because we last summer bought a season pass for some crazy reason. To be honest with you, it's been pretty fun because we live so close. We've probably gone maybe 6 or 7 times this year to Universal. So I think the next museum I'm going to go to for the members live stream is going to be the Ripley's Believe It or Not Auditorium, because much like the Hollywood Wax Museum, it's like I've walked by it for so long. I even think I had one single free ticket to that at one time that I did not use, that someone gave me. And then also this month, solid bet, before the end of the month, I'm gonna do one of those Hollywood tours. And that is not going to be a live stream because they go up into the hills and we'll lose the signal, but I'm gonna film it and then I'll do a live stream chat when it's on. Kind of like a live stream, but I'll be home. I'll look for L's. I'm heading back to the Arts District. This sign is exactly what you would expect it to look like in the 90s. It's artsy and quirky, kind of like the Best Bin logo over there. Ooh, let me do a plug here. And by plug, I mean plug in my my gimbal. Plug in my gimbal. I put the cord in my back pocket. Sorry for the shaking. I assure you, I am okay. All right. Brilliant. All right, we're up and running. It's not the cord I usually use. That might be in my pocket. Kinda got a little tripped out. This is a really long light. I hope it's not one of those lights where if you don't push the button, you're never gonna cross. Hey, 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 Joey B. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much. I know where those are. I may never cross this street though and get sunburned. I really try to use sunblock a lot, but I forget frequently, like today, and Long Beach. I forgot to do it at Long Beach. I'm so close to the ocean. Wow. All right, so I pressed it this time, so I'm probably good. I'm gonna start maybe carrying some sunblock with me. There's a sign next to my leg for a smash burger, and it looks so delicious. I could not eat a smash burger and walk another couple miles though. I feel like that's doomsday eating for a hot sunny day. I could probably have a nice bean salad though. I'm gonna smash that button. Go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, and chat. Throwing that out there. Also, there are memberships. We do fun things. Next month we are going to solve a fictitious mystery. I've been working on it for like a month or so now, and start to release clues as posts. That'll be a fun members whodunit stream, June 16th. And if that works, it'll be a really great time. If it doesn't, it'll be hilarious, and we won't do it again. But I'm hoping it works. It seems like it's gonna work. And it could be something we could do again. It seems like it would be a fun game. I love mysteries. And the game Clue. And I really like the Zodiac movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, which kind of is what inspired me, actually. Although it's not as insidious a crime. The shadow of a plane. You can drive pretty close to the airport. In fact, I have driven close to Burbank Airport and get pretty close to the planes. It's kind of scary. I saw a video of a woman driving in New Jersey down the freeway when an airplane flew over and she screamed. I gotta tell you, I would have screamed also. Like, it just looked like the plane was gonna slide across the highway. So I think tomorrow is going to be really hot in LA. I feel like they said it was going to be in the 90s in the valley today. So my plan was I have a mystery walk for Chinatown. Not a really mystery walk, but a punk walk, more or less. that we could do in Chinatown. I'm probably going to come on tomorrow, 12-ish, same time as today. I just haven't decided if I really want to hang out downtown. Actually, I go downtown tomorrow. Thinking out loud. If I go downtown tomorrow, that means I could get that ice cream before the end of the month. What is the date? The 29th? May is 31 days. I've got like 48 hours to get baklava ice cream before they take it off the menu. It's the perfect place for a food walk. I agree. Although I will tell you, I've never eaten in Chinatown. Joe, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't managed to spend any money today yet, which will be a great thing. I mean, I did pay for the train. Full Moon House in Chinatown. Well, then how can I want to get the secret menu that they don't give to the tourists. I'm kidding. I don't want to really experiment with any food. As you know, I'm not very food experimental. So we're in Magnolia. We're walking back to the Arts District. We were here just a little earlier. Let me see. I remember this. I think the last time I came here and was looking for something, I remember it being like 2 blocks of shops. Wow, a tiki sushi bar. They really just have tons of restaurants over here. Napkin, food, smile. Thank you. You forgot, thank you. Excellent. We now have an inn. Thanks, Joey. I don't know what I would order off the menu. My Chinese food experience has been pretty much takeout, I have to say. And definitely not authentic dishes. And mostly Mandarin. Some Cantonese, although I couldn't tell you the difference in the cuisine. I just know that I've eaten at Mandarin and Cantonese restaurants. Now it smells like spare ribs for some reason. There's not a Chinese restaurant around here. There used to be a Chinese restaurant on Elm Street that my friends' family owned. I can't remember how they were related to the family. And I can't remember what the name of the restaurant was. But it would be like, you know, the Poo Poo Platter restaurant, and then you would go inside and it was all decked out like a crazy cliche Chinese restaurant. I kind of love it. Kung Pao chicken and Mongolian beef. Those are 2 things that I would normally get. Kung Pao chicken or General Tso's chicken or whatever it's called, I love spicy food, Mongolian beef. I love that place. I think it's in the Arcadia Mall. It's like Mongolian Bowl or something. And you go there and you just pick a bunch of ingredients and then the noodles, and they like throw it on a stone for you and slide it around and heat it up. Mongolian Bowl? Mongolian Genghis Wok. That's what it's called. I'm gonna have to explore. We're gonna take a right here where I'm gonna show you a giant award. I believe that the sign is a little further down ahead of us, if I'm right. We have also, we've got a ton of Korean barbecue restaurants in our neighborhood, which are so good. Like TDF, to unalive for, I think is the expression. We used to go to Castle all the time, which is on Western. You cook it at the table, Korean barbecue, which is it's piles and piles of meat. Just delicious. And the only thing about it is you walk out of there, and if you wore a winter coat, it smells like beef or cooked meat, which is kind of gross. And the floor is a little slimy just from the grease in the air. It's a very sticky restaurant. Look, it's the Television Academy. There's your Emmy Award. They don't give those to YouTube people. I want an Emmy though, huh? Let's work on that. Hey, welcome Simply Sonora. There she is. Based on Goldie Hawn. I'm joking. I just want to go. I love their little statues. Unless they only have 2 of the Charlie's Angels. I'm kidding. Let's see who got a bust. I don't know what these busts mean. But let's take a look at them. So, okay, Walt Disney, Dick Clark, definitely deserve a bust. Maybe, let's hope I don't get kicked out of here, because, you know, people. I see Bob Hope from a mile away. Oh gosh, so Mary Tyler Moore, a favorite. Bob Hope, Carl Reiner, also a favorite. It's funny, Carl Reiner, Mary Tyler Moore were on the Dick Van Dyke Show, right? Carol Burnett, Ron Howard, Ted Turner, Brandon Tadikoff, I know his name, Diane Carroll, I know who she is, Harvey Korman from the Carol Burnett Show, right? Dinah Shore, Bob Mackey, Michael Landon. I had no idea this place existed either. Aaron Spelling. These are really great, likely likenesses there. It's hot. Bob Schieffer, I have no idea. I've heard the name. And William Paley, we all know. Jack Benny. I wonder if that's really life-size, because he's snake out. So we have Shonda Rhimes and Joan Rivers. Excellent. Definitely deserves a bust. Hi.
Just taking pictures for you, or are you taking pictures for yourself?
Of the people,
For you, or like something? For
I'm
you?
just filming for me. Yeah. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Katie Couric, and then we got Lucy in some capri pants. Huh? So we're probably gonna go. Norman Lear, B. Arthur. Not allowed to film here.
Turn left toward Lancashire Boulevard.
But before we go, Betty White, Dan Rather, Ott Connie, William Frawley, Vivian Vance, Earl Hagen, I don't know, Ernie Kovacs, I know, David Susskind, and Bill Klages. So I'm only allowed, I just lied to that lady. She said, "Are you filming this for..." And I was like, "I'm filming it for me. I'm filming it for all of us." So let's head back out onto the street. We can't do it that way. Let's go into Kaiser Permanente. Sorry, I just went to turn the Wi-Fi off.
Turn left onto Lancashire Boulevard.
I did mutter under my breath. And for everybody else. I mean, wouldn't they want people to know that that was there? You could visit a giant Emmy. Let me try one more. We were on 5G since the other day, and I switched to the LTE network just to make sure that we maintained our connection. Oh, they were fine. I think she was embarrassed to have to ask me, to be honest with you, because she really couldn't complete the sentence that she was asking me. And I think I gave her an answer that she could live with, which was a big whopping lie. This is a sculpture that represents all of the stars in Hollywood that never were. Kidding, there's nothing under it, but could you believe it? Okay, so our train station is over there. We've got to go back to gotta go back to the street we're on because we want to see that sign. Hey, Focused. Welcome to the valley, dude. And I'm using dude as a ambiguous dude. It works for everybody. Should I ask somebody, where's the North Hollywood side? They're gonna think when you see it, you'll get it, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not like getting to the foot of the Hollywood sign. We could get to walk under this. It's like a arch. So, I'm going back to Lancashire. Best movie about the valley. Come on, Valley Girl. Which I need to see again. I feel like I really have been itching to watch some 70s and 80s movies. I feel like Joe and I ate at this place one time. Why were we in North Hollywood eating lunch? That's why this looked familiar to me, Joey. Do you remember that? I think that movie, Also Valley Girl, is literally like just a capsule of a certain time period and a certain feeling and a certain, also like for people that didn't live in California, just sort of the way they, a lens through which they could see it and think it was cool. I think another movie that's like that, not The Valley, but captures just a period of time for Los Angeles, is Car Wash. I love the soundtrack to Car Wash. I love the movie Car Wash. It's also one of my favorite LA movies. I think I saw it a couple times as a kid, you know, on reruns or whatnot, but like I really watched it probably when I was about 20 years ago, and I love it. It's kind of funny. So we're Magnolia, Lancashire. We're gonna continue to walk down Lancashire because we've already went to that arts district. The Dairy Queen is gone. Oh, I also love Terminator and all of those movies. I don't know how much I like them like the year they came out because they're kind of old, but I love action movies like that, science fiction-y action movies. I think this is why I've not watched any of the like Mission Impossible, because they're like a kind of an American James Bond. I also love Boogie Nights. There was a movie I saw, and I can never remember the name of it, but it was about snuff films in Los Angeles in the 80s. Maybe it was 8mm. If 8mm didn't take place in Los Angeles, that wasn't the film. But I really, for some reason, like the vibe of that film also. I think maybe I saw Dave's Hot Chicken. This smells like Dave's Hot Chicken. I think I saw Terminator 2 first. There's a lot of sequels that are better. Addams Family Values, by far better than the first Addams Family. Casper 2, come on. That was a story. I'm kidding, I've never seen Casper 2. I loved Boogie Nights. Definitely a Valley movie. It's really weird because the Valley was known for that industry, right? And when I first moved here, like on Cahuenga, closer to Hollywood, there were like tons of, like the Hustler building was still on Wilshire, and I think, what was the other? The Vivid Video had a huge office building. So there's a cool walk. It's called the Angels Walk. These are set up all over Los Angeles, and you could kind of take this walk. This was the walk I set up for us a little bit, but again, I can't find my map. I'm excited that we're mostly going through the places anyway. Oh, there's a Cold Stone Creamery, but I really only would want a soft serve. I love the fact that all these little storefronts are here, vintage storefronts. We have a whole row of buildings like this in our neighborhood, but they're no longer stores. They're maybe housing. I'm not sure. They're painted black. I never see anybody go in and out of them, in or out of them. This is the home of the 68, Theater 68. So just a little playhouse down here. That's the Lancashire Arts Centre.
Head northwest on Lancashire Boulevard.
Not to be confused with the Lancashire Centre for the Arts. A very modern feeling neighborhood. We're in a little 50s neighborhood. I remember driving by the Flint building when I'd take the bus up Wilshire from Vermont and Wilshire, sorry. Yeah. And it was Larry Flint building, and then it became Court Furniture Rental. But like, there were so many more.
Head northwest on Lancashire Boulevard toward Hartsook Street.
Pornographic, I guess I can't say that, but this isn't for kids. Buildings and spaces in Los Angeles, even like nudie theaters. Drive me all the way to Beverly Hills.
Head northwest on Lancashire Boulevard toward Otsego Street.
All right. Get ready for more arts. And vegan donuts and bagels and smoothies. Coffee. This is Hespe. The NoHo mattress sale. This Bank of America is pretty infamous actually. Is this the one where I think there was like a LAPD situation gone wrong? It's kind of from like 1997. I remember watching it from Boston, like it was live.
Head northwest on Lancashire Boulevard.
This is Iguana Vintage. We actually have one of these on Hollywood Boulevard also. It's the kind of vintage store where they know what they're buying. And like the stuff isn't, it's like a slightly bougier vintage store. House of Hair.
Northwest on Lancashire Boulevard, Hartsook Street.
Shaky Town Live. Yeah, it didn't seem like it was because I remember it being a little more isolated, like sitting on a space itself. I actually know someone that was there that day. I met them, of course, out here. Kind of weird.
West on Lancashire Boulevard, Ezra Street.
I don't doubt that they were fibbing to me either, because before they even told me that, they had mentioned they worked for Bank of America for a long time. She mentioned, yeah, she worked there. I can't remember what her job was, but was there on that day. I can't imagine what that experience would be like. I've never really gone through any kind of tragedy like that, thankfully.
Boulevard toward Morrison Street.
I think the weirdest or worst thing I've ever lived through actually was being in Boston for 9/11, and I mean, I wasn't in New York, but maybe also when the fires were raging out here last January, there was a moment maybe January 8th or 9th, where they were actually, it seemed like they could come to my neighborhood. They were over by Magic Castle, actually. That was pretty frightening. But again, nothing really happened. I can't imagine having to live through something like that. The strength that you would need to just not be constantly afraid. Jimi Hendrix and a baby. I don't know who the baby is, but I recognize Jimi Hendrix. So, here is the art sign that we wanted to see. Dun, 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 hooray for... Glamorous.
On Lancashire Boulevard toward Houston Street.
North Hollywood, once an agricultural center of California, full of wheat fields, then fruit, then trains, and then movie folk who couldn't quite afford to live on the other side of the mountain. It still remains hills, I should say. It still remains a little cheaper than Los Angeles. I looked up rents here because we always ask that. So like a one bedroom here is about $100 cheaper than one in like Hollywood where I live, regular Hollywood, and the Hollywood lowlands. But I actually think there are more, because this community is from the 50s versus like the one I lived in, which is from the 30s, there are more opportunities to find like a one-up sign somewhere of an old lady who's lived there since 1970 something or 60 something, like second round of people where you could rent something. There are still a few places in Los Angeles proper like that too, but they're few and far between. You really can find cheap living out here. I believe it is, right? I'm not sure, but I'm sure it is. I think that it's one of the two remaining that we have in LA. And I'm not really sure where it is from here. Gee. So straight ahead is Universal City. If I continue to walk that way, we can just get on the train there. But I think I'm gonna walk back to the actual stop and get some soft serve and then hop on the train. All I can smell is Raisin Cane's, which I have also never eaten at. I think I'm gonna take... Sorry, this looks just shadier. It's like a frontage road. Maybe we'll see some graffiti. Maybe I won't sweat for a second. I want to go back to the days when they had like Bette Midler playing a set in the spa. That sounds fun. I've never had Cane's. I've heard so many times how great it was. I will eventually eat there, I'm sure, because I think they're putting one on Sunset at the Arby's, where there is a pizza place now. I really love the Arby's neon sign, so I really hope that doesn't go away, but I think they're going to get rid of it. I think that Raising Cane's also took over another restaurant with like an iconic sign, and they went back and forth about wiping it out, getting rid of the sign. I'm not sure how it ended. It was an old Googie restaurant across from the Beverly Center on La Cienega, I think.
Left onto Houston Street.
Hey, BD. Welcome, welcome. I started a little earlier today in North Hollywood. Microphone up and working. Transmitter piece arrived. Feeling pretty good about that. Had 1 or 2 signal issues, but we fixed it. And we got to check out this little artsy village that we call North Hollywood.
Turn right.
There's Jimi Hendrix again. I was really bummed about the Venice stream. It was a bonus stream, but it wasn't the sound so much, but the signal was just shittiest. Like, really just terrible. It was so busy. We had some issues in Hollywood too when we went on like Friday or Thursday, I can't remember, but the signal was thick with people. I really have to explore. Hey Alex, welcome.
Lankershim Boulevard.
77, it feels like 85 in North Hollywood, to be honest with you. I only have the temperature set up for LA on this, but it is always hotter over here. The heat just doesn't move past the mountains. So it becomes kind of like a heat bubble, kind of like up in Central California. Like the heat can't get over the mountains, so it's like a little box, hot box. Thanks. I was so happy to go to the Wax Museum. I'm sorry I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but I put that video together and it took me a couple hours to edit. I watched it, made sure it was the very best it could be for a non-editor, and then I posted it, and I didn't watch it after it posted. I didn't realize that the sound cut out, because every version I watched had full sound. So I reposted it with the sound. I didn't want you to miss out on all the Wax Figures music. Like there's some J-Lo songs. I could never post that for the general public because it has so many copywritten songs in it. I couldn't, the thing I used to erase them wouldn't let me erase them either because it had too many songs in it. That was really just for members anyway. I am going to go to Ripley's next, and that's going to be only for members also. Like, I really want to go to see things that I've been walking by for 100 years before they disappear. Next to Ripley's, there is another restaurant, like on the other side of McDonald's. It's in the old Hollywood Theater, which is a movie theater, and now it's like an experience. It used to be like, I don't even know what was in there. It was kind of similar to Ripley's, but now it's like Giant's Ashley's Maze and Giant's Funhouse and Upside Down House, or like weird stuff like that. So it's like an Instagram picture hall, so you can take your pictures in front of it. How many steps? Oh, hey, thanks BD. Thank you so much. Let's got a couple folks. Fireworks. Dan and BD, thanks for resubscribing for another month. So in addition to going to museums, members, we have a mystery to solve. I started putting clues up yesterday in between all the other things that I had to take care of. It's the end of the month, you know? So I put up some awesome clues. I'm going to be dropping more and more clues, and then a recap. I'm pretty sure this mystery is going to be pretty solvable, but not super easy to solve. So definitely pay attention to the clues. And if only 3 of you watch, 3 of you will have fun. And if we fail at this, it'll be hilarious and something you can tell your friends. And I don't think anybody's ever done anything like this before. So it could be again, I keep mentioning Geraldo opening the vault, but it could be like my Geraldo's vault and hilariously funny and will shame my journalistic integrity for years. So we've got one last stop. And I'm pretty excited we didn't go already, but it's that soft serve spot. It had really pointy, swirly top soft serve. I know it feels like it's 77 degrees, but it really feels like it's 90. If you're going out in North Hollywood today, make sure you're wearing deodorant. Hey, Weston, it is perfect day for a soft serve. I'm also too lazy to have to bite into ice cream. Soft serve is completely like melt in your mouthable. Got 2 seconds to cross here. Nudie cone. That's nudie. Hey, Joey B, thank you so much. Thank you for the support. We will keep trying to give you fun stuff to watch on Tuesdays and fun emojis. Dude, if anybody has any emoji ideas that they'd like to see, hit me up. Some of them are really hard to execute, the ones that I have in my head and you can't see them, like, or they don't look much different than a regular text emoji, so I'm always trying to come up with something that's a little more stylized. I love coastal Los Angeles also. I really kind of can't wait to go back to Long Beach. I went there last Thursday and it was such a really awesome day of discovery because I always kind of like look down at my nose to Long Beach for some reason as a super new city with not a lot of history, but I was wrong. Happily wrong. Okay. So I think if we take the next right, that's where I saw the soft serve sign out on the sidewalk. Well, there's a lot more to see down there. And you know, the way I walk, I could have probably walked to the Queen Mary that day. It seemed, and I was told on my watch, no, it didn't. It seemed like it was too far away, and when I looked it up when I was planning the route, it was too far away, but seeing it from where we were, it looked like we could have walked to it. So that is something I want to see. And also, I think Brave Bull, it was Brave Bull, had mentioned going to look at the canals down there in Naples. Is that how I remember it? So I definitely want to go to the Long Beach canals. For sure, Z's. Okay, so here's the question. The soft serve was left or right? I can't remember how I got to the train station. I just know that I walked down that street. It was this direction. If I can't find the soft serve place, left. Yeah, I think it was as I was first coming to this intersection. If not, I'll find another one. I haven't spent any of my allowance yet. What's super... Oh, I don't want a sandwich. I can't have a waffle, although that waffle emoji looks really good. A waffle is like nap food. Yep, there it is. Thank you so much for telling me to go left. Woo! Lancashire Laconic. This is where the newspaper was. Remember, this has only been North Hollywood since 1927. Before that, it was Lancashire. It hasn't even been North Hollywood for 100 years. So the soft serve ice cream is at Big Mama's and Big Papa's ice cream. I'm gonna go in and get it anyway. Let's see. Or it's maybe broken. Hey, do you guys really have soft serve ice cream? Can I get a mix, please? Yeah. $5. That's fine. All right, hold on, you guys. We lost our thingamajig for a minute. Yeah, Big Mama's has huge pizzas. Like gigantic. This is a place that we would go for whenever we had parties.
And you say you wanted vanilla, chocolate, or mix?
Mix, please. I don't know if they all have soft serve or just this location because it's so hot in the valley. But there's their 54 by 54 pizza. Thank you so much. I got ice cream on my cord. Thank you so much. You too. Okay, they're playing a hip-hop version of Islands in the Stream. That's... Alright, ice cream. Pointy ice cream. It's a real pizza size. I actually don't think I've ever gotten the 54, but I have gotten that one, the next to it. We used to buy their pizzas because they're really inexpensive for if we'd have a meeting at work. Our Big Mamas and Papas doesn't have a soft serve. This is really a perfect ending to the walk. I just scarfed down half of the tip of this before it melted on my shoe. I pulled out today my old sneakers. My new sneakers are starting to feel a little worn out after walking however many miles I have in them. But these old sneakers are pre-streaming and they feel like new sneakers. I also kind of like the way they look a little bit better. I'm gonna try not to get brain freeze, but no promises. I definitely want to come back here and eat sometime, Joe. Just Do you know where in Long Beach Elio's is? Before I go to Long Beach, Again, though, I kind of want to go and hang out there. Like, not on stream. We go to this pizza place on Western called 9.99 Pizza. We went there on a stream. The pizza, I can't believe this Greyhound station. The pizza is bad in the best way. The only difference, the ice cream was either $2.50 or $5. The only difference was a waffle cone. The waffle cone in this weather, much better choice. It holds up. I got both. It's the most comfortable I've felt on this walk so far. Like, it's amazing how ice cream can drop your temperature. Oh my god, is it? You know what I didn't think about? Hopefully it's not making a lot of gross noise. So, I gotta walk back to the train station now, which is on Lancashire. Hop on the train. Just fell into the street. Hop on the train and take a shower. It is spicily hot. But chewing noises, Joe doesn't like when he can hear me chewing gum. Hey, Kushapi. Sorry, my mouth is full. Alright. Whew. Okay, I will be on tomorrow for sure. Probably around the 12 o'clock time. I'm going to post up. I'm going to take off now, get on the train. I'm just dying of heat. My tongue is frozen. I don't have brain freeze, but I do have a lot of waffle cone left to chew. Thank you guys for walking. Wasn't the most exciting walk, but it's always fun to walk. Always fun to walk through neighborhoods that we've not seen before. Later, Mark. Have a awesome Thursday night. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday. I want to thank my members, and thanks for renewing, Steve and BD. I promise you continued fun on the upcoming member streams. If it's your first time here, please give a thumbs up or a like and maybe a subscribe. I guess a thumbs up and a like are the same thing. I guess that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for being here. We still need to get through the sidewalk servers. We have 61 people. I should have started this earlier. I can't even remember which direction the bus or train station is anymore. But that's okay. Woo! All right. You guys have an awesome Thursday afternoon and night. Lots of awesome streamers on here. Kasepi, West Coast G. Check him out. Back in the clay. We usually run right into each other. Where I end, he begins. Time-wise. Anyway, Have an awesome, awesome, awesome rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your support. Thank you all. I can't hear you. Oh. Really? Hey! Whoops! Bye, everybody.